All
Cheers.
right. Who do we got here today? We got the famous Mr. Oran Aviv, Mr. iQSAY HCP team. How's it going?
Good, good. How's it going, Michael? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. So for those that don't know who this is, Oran is a master strategist, brand maker. Okay. Everything I've ever done in my career, since I've hit Miami in particular, has gone through this gentleman. He has really one of the most brilliant creative minds. He sees things that other people would dream to see, and he brings so much value. And I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. We're going to be talking about him. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff we've been doing, and we're going to pick your mind if that's okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Very good. So why don't you give people a 60-second overview of, beyond my little quick announcement, of what are you an expert at?
So I guess I can start by saying that I'm a self-taught programmer. So basically, I started by building softwares and developing systems myself when I was working on my own app. And through the process, I went through web design, worked in the space, built my own business on that foundation. And what I would say that the reason, let's say, not why I'm an expert at, but what I believe people like when they come to consult with me is the ability to not only understand their whatever they're trying to accomplish from a tech standpoint, or necessarily just from a marketing standpoint, but to bring the two together. Because I've been exposed to both, sides of the coin, both the marketing and the tech. And a lot of time there are battles between the two. So we're trying to build, whether it's a website, a system, an app, an idea. This doesn't even matter. To understand the different layers you will have to tackle in the process, and to already make proper decisions today, so you don't start on a journey and then you run into those obstacles that you didn't think about that may want to make you pivot, because pivoting is very expensive. Starting something and then trying to redo it is very expensive.
Absolutely.
So
That's probably a very common thing that happens to a lot of, I would say, starting entrepreneurs or people that haven't really invested in tech or in systems, and they want they have this idea to solve this problem, and then trying to make that happen, they pivot because it's no longer a problem, or there's a bigger problem, or it's a different problem, and all that capital, time, effort, energy shifted, right? That happens commonly.
Exactly. And just even picking like the right tech stack, like the right technology, because you can build something on one platform and then trying to change it over is, again, it's a very expensive thing. So,
Sure.
I mean, in the world we live in today, there is hundreds of thousands of different tools you're probably going to be, can leverage when you choose to go out on a journey to build something. And again, it could be as simple as just if you're like a service provider and you want to put a website together that's going to actually make some noise in the local market, or if you want to build the next big app, there's a lot of decisions that has to be made. And I personally take more of the business approach, seeing all these aspects, not just, okay, let's go and execute this way, but actually having the conversation with the person, understanding what's the vision of the business long-term. And through that, making those decisions. Now, it doesn't mean we get everything perfect, but we do save a lot of time. And many times even people start to maybe doubt themselves a little bit in the process, whether they should even pursue the idea. And that's totally good, because it's better you doubt yourself at day 10 than at day 1010 after you already been 3 years through something and invested hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, from someone that has a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of businesses, it's so important to be strategically aligned with someone like yourself that can have a ton of value from just one conversation, one moment together. That's a strategic conversation, can save you thousands, tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, by knowing what to do versus what not to do, or understanding a different perspective, which I think is why I love and enjoy having conversations with you, because we're very opposite in many, many ways. I'm all about the numbers and the KPIs and the analytics of the sales aspect of it, and how is it going to convert? And you're about, but how's it going to make someone feel?
Yeah.
Right. And what does it do to them emotionally? Through that sequence of that sale. And over the years, as I've known you, I have tried to transition into your thinking, but I'm just hardlined to think like an entrepreneur, like a founder that wants to make money for the business, and then really think about all those mouths that we have to feed as founders, because there's people around us that need to earn. And so, although I love the creative aspect of that journey, I also think about who's going to, how we keep the lights on, how do we keep this thing going? And that requires capital, and capital requires push, direct response ads, etc. And so I think somewhere in the middle is probably the best hybrid, where you put your focus on your creative journey, and you never stop that journey, and you always iterate to make it better and feel better for the customer, the client experience, no matter what the business is, if you're a product or a service. But at the same token, don't lose focus on the fact that we got to close sales. It's got to happen today, tomorrow, and not just wait on forever. Would you agree?
I'll meet you halfway. And so I don't think that you got to meet me in the middle as far as that. I just think that you just got to do both. Okay. Let's say an average project we do can range anywhere from 20 to 50 grand, right? I don't think somebody starting a business tomorrow is a good fit for us.
Sure.
I just don't think so. And if they do, and they have a big idea and they know what they're stepping into, we'll have the conversation. We will try to deter them from maybe, we want to make sure somebody is actually ready for that type of investment. So on that aspect, it depends where the business is. So this is what I tell all my clients. When you're at the point that you already want to level up, you want to have that brand experience, you want to have a good, like you want to be that whether it's a website, but you want to be that brand, that, because the online world is what people see most of the time.
Sure.
They experience you, they're on your website. That's what they feel. Like you can speak with them on the phone, you can do all that, but you have to make sure that it translates also through the digital experience that you are sharing with people, which is usually a website. So with that, when clients come to me, we always tell them, don't change what you're doing right now. We're not going to be a game changer. That's not the point. But if you want to become that brand that other companies compare themselves to, just like when you look at other companies and you're like, oh, wow, look at how this brand, look at my competition. We'd say, you don't need to look at other competition, see what they're doing with their brand, we're going to make you that company, that brand, that website, that an other companies will compare themselves to. And when you want to have that, this is not just going to make the phone ring tomorrow. It's not about that. It's about creating that long-term journey with your customers that they learn to, like you said, there is a feeling to it that they can connect with. They feel related. It's like they feel like that's their community. So that's kind of like what we're trying to build together with our clients. And over time, it does lead to sales. It does lead to, to retention with customers. It does lead, but it has to propagate throughout the entire business.
Sure.
If we just do an incredible work, but the business is not able to perform to the standards that we put obviously online, obviously it's going to be misalignment. But in the world today, where there's like thousands, if not thousands, there's billions of websites, tens of billions of websites. And in every industry, you have 1,000 competitors in your local area. The amount of people that truly pay attention and put emphasis on certain aspects of the web, of the brand, of the experience, of trying to cater to a specific crowd, actually, it's not that many. So it creates an opportunity. So continue what you're doing. Continue to do sales. Continue prospecting. Don't stop doing that, but also build that other arm that's going to support you in the long term. So now you have the sales and you have the brand and you build a culture, your company, you build a culture with your customers, you create a community that your customers can rave about. And that starts with that thinking before we even touch one line of code. So that brand, that company that has that ambition, that want to become that company, that brand that other companies will compare themselves to, that's really how we identify who this is for. So if you can be that company from day one, by the way, and you can be that company from after 2 years in business. Right? So that's where I meet you in the middle, where you're right. Sales is number one job. Like I see it as a business owner. My number one job is, first of all, to pay my people when I said I'm going to do, and to pay them on time and actually to pay them. And if I'm not able to do that, nothing else matters. So obviously you have to bring sales, you have to pay employees, you have to do all that. But once you've done that basic, then what's next?
Look, beyond sales, it's marketing, right? The master of sales is marketing, and marketing, I've learned from my journey of spending capital, time, effort, there's really, and Alex Hormozi says it, there's only really 4 ways. There's the referral, which is the best way to get business. And that's how probably 99% of businesses survive, referrals.
Yeah.
And they're small businesses. I know very few people that have made a giant conglomerate of capital through referrals. Not to say that doesn't happen, but those are very few. I would say the second would be organic posting or outreach. So it's content like this. You create value by teaching, educating, offering insight into your expertise and posting it for the world to learn about, which is less capital intensive, more time intensive, and requires experience and understanding to really provide value to the audience you're trying to go after. 3 would be paid ads, taking that content or other types of forms of content and plastering it in people's eyes with capital, which I really believe in. By the way, I believe in all of these things, but what's going to give you that instant gratification, which I think most people that either are in business, are looking to grow their business, or are starting out in business, they want instant gratification. And the only way to get that is through that paid ad. Or lastly, which is what I don't want to toot my own horn about, it's cold outreach. And so cold outreach, cold calling, cold texting, cold DMing, cold emailing, cold mail, that's probably the most efficient, cost-effective way to do marketing, no matter what tier you're at. And it gets easier if you have an established audience. So it's warm calling, warm texting, warm outreach. And if you take all of this, which is the beautiful world we live in today, and you slap on AI and automation to that, the world's your oyster, right? You could do so much, and it's never been more exciting than it is today. And what I really also want to divert the conversation and ask you about is, what do you know about vibe coding? Let's talk about vibe coding. Do you know what that is?
I just want to touch something you said about word of mouth, and then we'll go
Sure.
through that.
Go ahead.
But you shared a few points about how you can, get customers, right?
Sure.
There's different journeys. So where we play would be in the what you call referrals. I
Sure.
call it word of mouth.
Word of
Which
mouth.
is,
Yeah, I
which is
agree.
the same thing.
Yep.
It still runs, like you said. I think you said it. Like most of businesses still run on word of mouth.
I would say like 97, 8% of them.
Okay, perfect. But when you really think about it, like you say, they really remain small, right? So what is it? So if word of mouth run 97% of the businesses, based on that stats, then it means it's working because it's the world runs on it, so it is effective.
Sure.
But why is it effective for some companies more and some companies less, right? And word of mouth doesn't happen by chance. And we know today
Sure.
already that there are ways to generate word of mouth where you don't necessarily have to, wait for someone to have the need and share with you, right? So I think I would say this because we don't do paid ads. We don't do any of that. Not talking about RB, I'm talking about that in general. Like when clients come to us, we don't run ads. We don't do that. We don't deal with this instant gratification situation.
Sure.
There are companies that will service that. And if somebody is starving for customers, it's probably not going to be a good fit for us to begin with.
Sure.
But when your company is established or they have the long-term view and they want to build a brand, and that's where we play. How we take word of mouth to the next level. Because when we create something,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be us, by the way. Some people can do it themselves. They can vibe coding, which we're going to touch in a moment. They can hire designers themselves. They can do a lot of stuff. I'm not saying like what we do is exclusive to us.
Sure.
But when you start to build that, you're tapping into, okay, when you create something of value, something like, when you're driving a certain car, rather than just, stepping into a Corolla, right? When you're investing in making, your yard looks better, when you are, putting decoration for Christmas, right? Or Hanukkah, whatever. Like, it doesn't have any value from, it doesn't extend your life.
Correct.
Right? It doesn't have any survival value, even though some people, religious people may say, but I'm talking like, just scientifically speaking. Why do people do that if they don't need it for survival?
I think it's because of the way it makes them feel.
It's the way it makes them feel. It's they're related to something. So when you're starting to tap into that, you understand that certain people look for certain signals, for certain signs. And this is really what we're trying to pull for someone. And this is why every product we do looks kind of different from the other one,
Sure.
even though it could be in the same industry, because you're building basically a tool that's not only going to service that brand to look amazing and be kind of like look like the big shot in the industry. You're also building something that their customers are going to be raving about or going to be sharing. Because here's an interesting thing for people to know. The time where customers are going to talk about your business, like if you have a new customer, once they already signed the deal and the product is delivered, they may, maybe some people will talk, but actually it's right before or right after that they are about to become a customer that they actually should talk about it. Why? Because right before, they may talk to a friend, whether it's the right decision, they may share the company name, right? That's when it happened. And right after, because you have this feeling that you want to make sure you did the right choice. So you tell people, hey, I'm just about to get the new phone, or you're talking about it right before, right after. That's the time when people are actually going to talk about you as a business owner. That's when your customers are going to talk about your business. And then they're going to be talking to the friends. So so the friend is going to be like, oh, okay, show me the website or let me see if I know them. And that's why websites that are not very good or don't show the right signals can make you lose a lot of sales. You just don't
Absolutely.
know that.
No,
but
that
it
makes a
happens.
lot of sense.
So we help in this word of mouth arena to really make sure that you're covered from all, and also being able to share it more. Because when people see a cool website, even if they're not going to buy right now, we all have this experience that we go on our phone and we see something that we like, and there was something there that you would get attached to emotionally. So we save it on the phone for the future, and then we bought it 2 weeks or in 2 years later.
Sure.
But then when we see something that doesn't look so great, we just go away. So
That's more impressionable for sure.
so word of mouth is not something that you should hope to get. It's something that you can engineer in your business. That's what I'm trying to say.
Listen, I can wholeheartedly agree. And by the way, I think the ultimate marketing is word of mouth that is subsidized by all of the other forms of advertising I mentioned. So if you make out good content, word of mouth will go out about that content and will refer business to your business.
Mhm.
If you get good paid ads and your service is good because people bought into it, word of mouth will spiral it when they see the ad. If you do cold calls and they're like, oh, I've heard of this company. You guys do such a great job. I'm in. It's going to serve it as well. So there's definitely not a conflict in that. I totally agree with everything you just said. And I think what makes Oran and the team over at your company so unique is you're right. It's not about, okay, I made a really cool looking website and that's what I do. It's the, how do you amplify the feeling of that product or service so that it imprints to that customer's experience so that they could share about it, which makes it the
Yeah.
referral or the word of mouth. And I think that's what makes you different than every other, I would say you want to call it an agency or a service provider in that space. Because what would you categorize iQSAY HCP? What do you categorize your business as? What are you?
I guess it's about trying to make something remarkable, right? And something remarkable is basically that other people will leave a remark on. That's really what it is. So what is the question again?
I'm saying, like, for example, someone asks me, Mike, what do you do? I'm in the real estate space. I'm in the AI space and automation space. That's kind of where I live. And someone says, well, what does that all mean? And then I go hyper specific and I say, I serve small businesses that are in the real estate space by leveraging AI tools in a done for you format for that business. So what would that be for you?
So we basically help people become the brand that other people compare themselves to, like other companies would compare themselves to, if that's what you are after. And we do that using web design and softwares and different systems that we implement together. That's it.
That's okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Can we talk about vibe coding?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I was going to ask, first of all, I know we kind of touched on it, but what do you know about vibe coding?
So I don't know much about it because I personally, don't do a lot of the coding myself today, even though my background is in this, but I have my team that kind of like play with stuff like that.
Sure.
But I know that you have, like, you're really, what's making you, I think, very unique entrepreneur is that not only when you need to, you can do things yourself. You don't have the, like, naturally speaking, there is a look to what a geek can look like, right?
Sure.
And you are without, you are.
I'm the roughneck geek that no one sees me coming.
Exactly. So you know a lot, and you're literally like I think you're just as good as software programmer could have been if you actually went into coding. Maybe you even know some coding yourself, and you've really done amazing stuff. So I actually want to hear what is about vibe coding from you because I want to learn by coming here.
I want to tell you something. I think there's not enough content from entrepreneurs or business owners. I think there's a lot of influencers that are in the AI influence space that are talking about it. It's not that old. I would say it's maybe a year old, maybe a little less, a little more. I came across it because here at the MTIP Collective, which is where we're broadcasting this from in North Miami, one of the guys here introduced me to it for the second time. And when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? It sounds weird. You could chat GPT your way into a website. What does that look like? And because I don't know coding, or I didn't know as much about coding as I did today, I didn't put much mind to it. I said, I got Oran, I got the team. If I need something done, he's got a team, they'll get it done. And so that's
6 weeks.
6 weeks, turnaround time. And you know me, I'm like, I want it yesterday. And it's not because I want it yesterday because, I'm looking for a perfect result. It's because I need something. It's the opportunity cost that I keep thinking about. I could be making money right now if I just had something to show. And that's what impulsed me into getting into it. So anyways, we had a real estate spiel campaign happen in the space, and everybody got stuck. There was this moment where everyone got stuck. And what did they get stuck on? We needed to make offering memorandums. In real estate, that's like a presentation page for the property you're trying to sell.
Mhm.
And nobody could figure out how to make one. And nobody had anywhere to go and distribute it, to sell it, to place it. And so I'm like, I guess we're going to have to build a website to display like products, but listings, like a little Zillow.
Yeah.
And 20 years ago, I wanted to build something called onepropertymarket.com. And that's been a huge passion of mine. I spent a lot of money trying to grow that. It's been a lot of different versions of it. And then as a result of this necessity, and it was like an afternoon, and I said, I'm going to go look up that link. I'm going to go see what that guide sent me. Next thing I find myself within 60 seconds of me literally speaking my idea, I saw something visual in front of me.
Wow.
And it looked amazing. And I said, no way, this just happened. This blew my mind. Like through all the money we've spent and all the time we've spent to be able to do that so quickly was that eureka experience for me. Now, mind you, I went 3 weeks deep, almost all night benders. I couldn't stop vibe coding. I got addicted to it. Now, someone that is not technical, that is full of ideas that could come to fruition, it was a wet dream for me. Someone that's more technical might, or maybe has that curated eye the way you do, might find it to be cute, but not as good as an expert programmer or designer or strategist combined. But for someone like me that needs to get something out, that wants to get something going, that's right. So I digress. My experience has been, it saved me a lot of time, a lot of capital. And now my goal is, right, is I could take this new business idea, this new sales page, this new marketing idea, get something going, get that PowerPoint up and running, and then serve it to someone that is an expert like you that could see it, which I'd love to do over one of these things, right? To look at it and say, I like it, but here's what I would do different, and here's why, and here's what we should change and not change, because your level of understanding is beyond any other human I've ever met. And I say that with humility because I know a lot of smart people and you're very, very unique. And I think anyone watching this, the real value is understanding that Oran could see something you will never be able to see. And whatever his dollar amount is, may it be $1,000 or $1 million or whatever it's going to be tomorrow, it's worth every cent. And so that's what vibe coding is for me. We have an example here, which we're going to sum up with. This is a company called BricksMe or Bricks Builder, and it's about fractional real estate. Okay. You know me, I like prop tech. I like things that are associated to real estate. When you see this, right? When you see this design, this is by the way, been completely vibe coded to existence. How does it make you feel? What do you think it is good? What is bad? What would you do differently? And we'll
Okay,
scroll.
can I get the computer?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Here you go, brother.
Okay, so first of all, when you look at this, first of all, we need to understand people don't look at this. What they do, they go like this and they start going like this. Right?
Yep.
So they don't see this.
They start scrolling.
They see this. Now, what is this thing? It looks like all over the place, right? But that's how it is. So we have to really think about what would make somebody stop. So that's one thing. Now, first, before I start to say what I would do different, let's start about what do we have here that's actually is interesting, is worthwhile to know that it's, because how long did it take you to put this website?
I think we've been on this for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, but that's because you had some logic behind
It's
it.
not just, it's not just a page. It's really profound.
Yeah,
the marketplace a lot.
There is a lot of logic, but
Yes.
just the design itself, it's a couple days, right? Couple hours, couple days.
I would say a couple days.
So let's take this, whatever I want to say within that it's actually was done just in a couple of days is incredible.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, a couple of things. So you have some stats here. Again, we can talk about whether this is the right stats or not the right stats, but having some stats is good because some people like to see numbers, right? First thing, those numbers are a little bit too small. People should probably, if you already put a stats and this text is also a little bit small over there, should be a little bit bigger, a bit more like you're already going to have a number there. Like, don't hide it from me, you know? And I know it looks like, oh, it's one of center. What are you talking about? No, it's a little bit small. And then also, if you can make the numbers like roll up, when you load the page, again, you're driving my attention now to those numbers. So you really want to pick what is it you want those numbers to be. But numbers are a great way because a lot of people don't necessarily like words. They would like necessarily numbers.
That's really great. That's a smart observation right off the bat.
I like the idea that your fonts at the top, it says Bricks Me, but Bricks Me, again, it's like I would maybe do a play with the me. Like, what does it mean, Bricks Me? Like, maybe you tell me, what is Bricks Me?
So we're trying to introduce people to the concept of fractionalizing real estate, which is basically crowd funding real estate transactions, investment property. And so a lot of people kind of got the idea of crowdfunding, but they don't know the terminology fractionalize. And so we coined this term, it's a branded term. Bricks is the name of the company. Bricks Me is fractionalize me. Share me out. Start crowdfunding my property. That's the idea behind it.
Okay. Also, the menu, something with the logo. So I don't think people would get that when they first land on the website.
Okay.
I would get rid of the me, to be honest. And I would just say, because again, you're trying bricks as a very strength to it, to the word itself. And you also use uppercase letters. Why not put the logo in the center of the page? Because the logo actually says bricks. It would have been so much cooler to see the square bricks, especially when you have that nice, elegant, coloring. Again, it would give me a bit more confidence, a sense of confidence to see that logo right there for the center. It's the same words. Remove the word me. We can find a way to incorporate that idea throughout the page. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe through the call to action or something like that. Make
Sure.
sense?
So you would say to replace me with the logo or with the background?
I would actually just get rid of the bricks me and put the logo right there front and center instead of that title.
Okay.
And then as you scroll down, I would have the logo move back to the top left corner with a sticky menu. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So just naturally just goes.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. No, now before we invest even much more time here, let's go down. So again, one of the things that I feel I'm a little bit too I'm a little bit bored when I look at it,
Sure.
and the reason is because it's a lot of white, it's a lot of text, it's a lot of pictures that don't mean much to me if I just scan the website.
Sure.
So I'm trying to, so the bricks value is not speculation. I mean, it talks the language, but I don't even know what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like you got to start with the problem. So you're missing, the power of that elimination. That you're already presenting the solution, but where's the problem? What are we solving here?
Sure.
Like, what do you want? Like you gotta tap into my imagination. Like I come here to the website. Where am I going to come from? From an ad, from something where maybe I'm going to present it with the opportunity to maybe be part owner of something and see my money grow over time.
Like a residual.
Like a residual.
That's all.
So I want to start with understanding also the problem, and you don't necessarily have to say like something like, but okay, so I'm just trying, you're putting me with the spot, so I'm trying to come with a creative idea. But something could be like,
I want to show everybody your power, dude. How quick you are with your ability to see things that people don't see.
imagine investing where $1,000 can take you.
Ooh, I like that line.
Because you told me
How far can you go with $1,000?
where $1,000 can take you.
Yeah, I like that.
Now there's curiosity. So the copy is important too. Like a lot of people do copy with ChatGPT, and we do as well, but that's not enough. You still have to give it the human twist to it.
Sure.
So
That's powerful. I like that.
because the person coming here is going to come from a point of view where they're interested in some investment, and probably your pitch is going to be like, it doesn't cost as much to be an investor in real estate, right? Something around those lines. Like am I getting it right? That's the overall idea that you want to bring people to understand that you can start as a small investor and grow over time?
Sure.
Is that where you're looking for?
That's one of the avatars. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's one of the avatars. And by the way, you can create another page for another avatar, but let's just assume that's the avatar.
Okay.
So eliminate debt, maximize cash flow, transfer properties through fractionalization. So that's not focused, because are you talking to the investor or are you talking to the property owner? So with this page,
Interestingly enough, not to be they're both the same person. The guy that wants to fractionalize could also be the guy that brings us the listing. So the owner could be also the listing provider. Think marketplace, buyer, seller.
they are the same person, but not at the same time.
Correct.
At the time that you're looking to get rid of your debt is not the same time that you're looking to become the investor. And the person that's looking to become the investor and make more of his money is not the person in their mind right now to become rid of the debt. Once you have your foot in the door with them, right, and you start working with them and expose them to more things, at that time, maybe they'll be open to hear more and learn about the other opportunities under bricks. Confused mind doesn't take action, right? So right now it's talking to two different avatars. Make sense?
Yes.
Because it's the timing. It's like, everyone is a seller and a buyer in real estate, but not at the same time.
You're right.
You're either a seller or you're a buyer.
Yep.
You can be a seller today and a buyer tomorrow, but not at the same time. So that's what I'm trying to say. So as we scroll down, so So here, obviously, there is some information that I don't know if it means much, this icon, and I think it competes a little bit with what here at the top. I would just revamp this to much bigger numbers that roll up that just make it clearer. Now, again, I'm a little bit bored throughout the page as I look at it. So I would try to make, either a video or something in the background,
Sure.
a little bit of movement. People like movement today. Like even today, when you watch like the greatest, some videos, there is even like even podcasts today. Sometimes people have like cars and stuff moving in the background because we like that we're so ADD today.
Yeah, we're enamored by movement. You're right.
So some movement there. So here, let's see. So so you see here there is some stuff. Okay, let's see. Bricks serve by shorts to eliminate property debt. So that's not bad. That bricks. So I like the positioning. I like the icons. Again, I like the layout. It's very clean. It makes me feel. But again, I'm not getting excited. I want to be excited.
Sure.
So I'm missing maybe something in the background with the brand. Like, what I like to do sometimes, like take the logo or something and put it like in the background,
We did that on
but in
another
a
site.
subtle way.
Yeah.
Or maybe create a line, like break it a little bit for me. We're humans, we're not symmetrical. We like symmetry, but we're not symmetrical. So when something is too symmetric, it also doesn't, you need a little dot over here. Like, you need something, right? So symmetry is good, but not overdo it. And here everything is like so, a little bit boring. You know what I mean? I think there is somebody outside making some noise right now, right? But I don't think it captures in the audio. But okay, let's go here. Understanding bricks. Bricks are values, not speculation. You see, those statements don't mean much to the average person.
Got it.
It means something to you, but the language has to be simplified more. What are you trying to say here?
We're trying to show visually. So the terminology, a stacks, a bricks, a bricksies, is basically currency that gets exchanged in units of measure. So for example, $10,000 is considered a stacks. $1,000 is a bricks, and $100 is a brixie. And so when you buy into the platform, into a property, into a share, you can buy it at any one of these tiers, as a stack, as a bricks, as a brixie.
So over here, what I would have done to make it more, because again, you're talking to people, you're talking to humans, and you need to help them imagine. So rather than putting this thing, which to me looks like it's I'm selecting a seat to the next movie in a theater, I would put like an office building, maybe even a sketch of it, and I would draw those bricks inside the building. So now I have the conceptual understanding that each square is a piece of the actual building, and it's not just looks like.
Oh, that's beautiful! What a brilliant idea!
That would make it more
relatable.
Relatable, yeah. It just would make sense because a square is a piece of the building.
I love that.
Every brick share is representing. Okay, and then you explain it. Okay, I would probably increase the font size a little bit. I feel things are a little bit like you went a little bit too small. The font. It's got what bricks is. I just click here for a second. Did it scroll down? Did that what happened?
No, it took you to a different page.
Took me to a different page to this section. Okay. So you have here interactive thing. Okay,
it's a tool.
That's really cool. Let's go over that in a second. Let's go just back to the homepage for a second. Let's just continue here.
You were down below.
So I want to go back here. The power of debt elimination. So I would so here you're really talking about the person who is a property owner and what they can gain by eliminating debt.
Yes. Also, I think one of the messages we're trying to convey here is there are some players in the space today, and they don't focus on this. So I'm also trying to say, how do we set us apart from the people that are already in fractionalization? Why would I pick bricks versus that guy? Well, let's talk about all the things that we do that they don't do. And so the homepage, by the way, which I love this feedback, it's kind of giving you an overview, a glimpse of many of the other more detailed outline pages. Like right now, you jump to the what is bricks. If you go just quickly, just to show you reference so you get better understanding, click on explore at the very top. This isn't the most update, but click on what is bricks. Let's see if it does that. Yeah, so we updated a lot of this stuff. Click on tools. Let me see if it shows up there. Click on builder on the left, top left. Click on mud and flow. Okay, so this is a different page, right? And there's newer pages, but this to give you a journey, an understanding of the tiers, and there's an interactive tool to calculate fees and earnings for the MLM and
so
all
this
that.
is how I know you're a geek in disguise, because this page has a lot of content, a lot of cool stuff to it, a lot of diagrams, a lot of cool, just cool shit, you know? Look, this is really cool. This is cool. This is cool. Like, but the truth is, especially on mobile, it doesn't mean much to the average person who's going to go here.
Sure.
So our philosophy, what it means, only show as much as needed so the person has the desire to click to see more.
Okay.
So for example, sometimes we would write a lot of stuff during the content writing process, the copywriting process, but then when we get to the design, we're going to eliminate or hide parts of it. So there is a button for explore more, there is to read more. And then we either take them to another page or sometimes we even open a beautiful window to show more details about that particular subject. But we want to invite people, we want to draw people in. We don't want to vomit information on them.
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
Because that's just confuse people again. So I think there is a lot of pieces here. They were just placed. And sometimes, and this is a good fit because sometimes even just put positioning, it's not that something is wrong,
Sure.
but it's too much is also not good. Too little is
Absolutely.
not good. So you have to know the subtle. How can I tell somebody? You know, it's like dating a girl. Like you're not gonna go to your apartment on the first day. You know, you have to have that subtle so that she, you know,
You
she
can
wanna learn
seduce
more.
her. You can seduce
exactly.
her.
It's seduction. Exactly.
That's what you're trying to do
Yeah.
through a website. I will tell you, using your terminology, your high converting page, HCP terminology,
Mhm.
I know that a website in today's world, it's hard for it to sell itself. That's probably one of the most challenging things, unless there's a product or a service that's really known, like Apple, or there's a giant community behind it that knows what to buy, and they just need a tool to buy it on an e-commerce site. Websites don't really do much without the human element behind it. Meaning, I know that tomorrow when I introduce this platform to someone, there is going to be a human presenting when I'm conversing about what it is. I'm going to use this because it's the gift that you taught me to walk someone through and curate that conversation.
Correct.
And I might also use this to introduce an avatar, a AI video that walks them through this page to kind of help curate what this mess looks like. Now, obviously, you want to make it as least messy as possible to make it clear. And I think the value, immediate value is just to show you guys. And by the way, he charges $1,000 an hour just for this. So the fact that he's doing this right now is amazing. And he could do this for your business, by the way. And you guys should totally hit him up if you have half a brain to get just this console. Forget the actual execution of the work, which he could also fulfill for you. Just sitting down and auditing your brand, whether you're an existing brand or in this case, startup, brand new company. This is invaluable because I don't know of anybody else that could provide such insight. And it sounds, maybe some of you think this, well, that's stupid. That's not a big deal, but it is, because if it's going to make my life easier selling, which is what I love to do, right? When I sit in a room or an audience of 1,000 people tomorrow, and I got a giant screen behind me showing them this beautiful page that was designed by Oran and the team, but it also communicates my words easier for me. Like they say, a picture could say 1,000 words, right? That's what we're trying to accomplish here. So keep going. Love it. It's amazing.
Let's just explore a little bit more, you know, that part. I think that today a lot of consultants, again, they're so, what I like to say, like, you know, we're not trying to say, oh, a green button will be better than a blue button, or, oh, if you just sweep, like those, all these, what we call conversion rate optimization, we do A/B testing and all this stuff that you can do very scientifically. That is amazing if you already have 1,000 people every day going to your website. And
Absolutely.
you have enough traffic, enough volume to prove for it. Maybe you sell a specific product, like you said, which is a physical, which is easier to understand what it is. And then, yes, and we actually have specialized partners that would do that. And they actually don't even do A/B testing. They do A, B, C, D, E, F, G testing because it can be very effective.
Wow.
But for someone who is just doing, you know, maybe have 500 people on the website a month, or maybe 1,000 on a good month, they really need better help telling the story in the right flow. So we look at the page. We don't even care about. We're trying to understand what is the story. You want to tell a compelling story, right? You wanna be an adventure. You wanna understand, like, and you wanna meet and it's not the story of you. It's the story of the customer.
Absolutely.
As they are going to get help from you for doing something, especially the service side when it's like selling the invisible. When you sell services, you're basically selling the invisible.
So true.
You have to be able to create elements that are making it much more
Tangible.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word. And those are and this is why I'm saying, you know, put the building there, rather than just a square, because you want to tap into their imagination. Because, there is a show called, a TV series called Mad Men. You probably heard
Mad
about
Men,
it.
yeah, great show.
Yeah, Mad Men, where
In the office, yeah.
in the office, the
Yeah,
advertising.
1960s, yeah.
And one of the things that he says in one of the episodes is so true about the Heinz commercial, which I want everybody to remember that because it's true. So he's pitching there at Heinz, and basically he shows like the fries, and then he asks him, hey, what's missing? And then he put the thing, it just says pass the Heinz. It doesn't even show the product. And he says, well, with this ad, you're not only showing the product, you're actually tapping someone's imagination. And when you are in someone's imagination, your ad is running 24/7. It's not the same as just, having a message that they see off with the drive with the car and forget about it. So the next time they see fries, what happens? They think about pass the Heinz, they think about the ketchup. And they're not thinking necessarily about, oh, let me go to the shop and buy Heinz maybe right now, but it penetrates deeper into someone's brain. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to understand where someone is with their story, but let's make it more practical.
I love it. What a great story too.
So this is already a better start because your path for financial freedom is, you're talking now about me, the customer, right?
Yeah.
Now, whether I'm going to use financial freedom, again, we're talking about, I don't know if it's compliant, depending what business you are, but okay, that can work. But Bricks build success stories.
Bricks Builder is the avatar in this case, right, that we're going after. The site started as a subsidiary kind of sister site to the marketplace. And the idea is to get MLMers, people that are in real estate, that are real estate savvy, that have listings that we're calling and coining Bricks Builders. They're basically our affiliates, to get them to the site, to educate them, to show them what this is, to get their clients, which are the sellers or the property owners, to get them in. That's who this site was really designed for. And it's slowly starting to morph into an all-in-one. So Bricksers are the people investing into the properties. Bricks Builders are the people bringing in the properties. And so I'm trying with the team, with God willing with you too, to make this into a one-site stop shop, but to be able, like you said, to differentiate this page is for these people, this page is for this people, this segment and so forth.
Yeah, for Bricks Builders, for Bricks Investor, whatever you call it.
Bricksers.
And the same person may go to see both pages.
Yes.
But at least now you create because again, when you tell a story to someone, they're not reading 70 chapters all at once, right? They're not jumping from chapter 2 to chapter 17. They're going chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So you really have to read the story. And it leads me to the next section here. You're saying start with a free account. It basically build your team, earn a fit. So basically you explain the process. And if I go down again, it basically
shows them that process.
It shows them the process. So don't just get rid of that and just
get rid of what?
Of start your free account. Not necessary. You're already showing it downwards. Again, you're giving too much information and you're repeating it. No, let them be interested. You want to say about Bricks Builder success story? Amazing. Learn more, scroll down. Here is the journey of the success story. You don't need that paragraph anymore. It's redundant.
Part of it is maybe they want, in my head, I always say in the beginning of every top headline or hero page, there should be that call to action to take action, right? Because the sales part goes back in my brain. We want to make sure they have that available to them, ready for them to take action.
You have it here at the top right.
You're right.
And this is, again, and I'm not saying you don't want to keep it, but you can still have a learn more with an arrow that they can click and it automatically scrolls down and it shows the journey. Now, I like the fact that you made the journey visual, but this journey is a little bit, nobody's going to sit down and look at this and understand it. I'll be honest with you.
Sure.
The journey should be 3, 4, 5 steps maximum. And it needs to be start a free account, learn the tools, invite others, and then succeed. Something like that. And then maybe a button, explore in detail or explore more, learn more. They click in and then a window shows up that actually show a timeline or something in more detail.
That goes further down. That idea you just shared is further down.
But this is just,
by the way,
too much on the eyes.
To give you an idea, and for you guys watching how amazing this is, we had a conversation, just like we're having one right now. Obviously, this is being recorded. It's great. This conversation then gets transcribed. This transcription then goes into a prompt. The prompt then creates the stage for this page. And so now our ideas, through conversating naturally, natural language, through a great LLM, can take our ideas and it has a mind of its own. And I'm going to tell you something. This page you're witnessing was one prompt.
Yeah. I'm saying it's incredible.
And there was no iterating and there was no feedback. Now imagine let's say from today's conversation, I will take it into consideration. Everything you're saying, I'm going to feed back into the LLM and I'm going to try to see if it could.
And we'll meet again next week.
Yeah. But that's my point, Oran. I'm trying to both share with you because I know you're kind of newer to this. You can literally speak it into existence. So if you now look at a site, whether it's an existing site or completely vibe coded site from scratch, you will be able to take your mastermind and institute it. And I think I would pay a heavy premium to have you orchestrate that mastermind and that strategy. And I think that's the way of the future that we're all headed to, whether we like it or not, because AI is taking over every fucking thing. But right now, AI is married to an expert, right? I'm an expert at certain things.
And I would recommend everyone to do that than to find someone to spend $500, $1,000, $2,000 for to do a website. Because this is 10 times better. Like, and that's why, like, don't go halfway on your thing. I believe do it all or don't do it at all. Like you can't afford paying 10 grand on a site or 20 grand on a site. That's fine. There's options, or find something, or you can even hire the designer or the expert to do the prompt. That's fine. But don't settle, because it's like an approach to life too, right? Like
Absolutely.
in business, if you start settling on things, then your whole business looks like you settle on things, right?
Well, sometimes you're forced to.
You're always going to find yourself in a corner where you're going to have no choice. But that's not something I really believe in. I believe where the market goes right now, if we're talking about AI stuff, just as a segue to what we're talking about, I think the markets of experts and niche is even going to be more valuable, because when AI can do everything, there's going to be someone that can do, for example, like what we're doing right now.
Correct.
And my skill set will improve over time.
Absolutely.
So, and my team, so you don't want to speak to average. You really want to become, like, you really
a specialist.
A specialist in something that is going to be worthwhile to pay a premium for.
Absolutely.
Because if you're right now competing for price, then like it's a
you're in the bad business.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a service business, especially if you're in the commodities business, products. But that's what I'm trying to explain to you through this experience, right? And I could show you 15 more projects that came to fruition over the last 6 months as a result of idea, conversation, existence. And of course, there's iterating. And of course, like anything that you want to make the best of the highest standard, that is going to be, I would say, something you'd be proud of in your eye, in your customer's eye. That's what we're shooting for. That's the goal. I'm just here to tell you, like I always tell you, is throw a little AI into your life, bring a little spice into it, because I think there's so many people that would love to have access to Oran. And I know your time is so scarce, and so is mine for what I do. And so to be able to leverage another yet beautiful tool, which is AI vibe coding, I will tell you, I'm probably 70 cents on the dollar to getting an HCP I can pretty much get done in a day. And it's really amazing. An e-commerce HCP, a few days. A
landing page.
A landing page.
People, I don't think they know what it is.
I want everyone to learn. An HCP is coined by this guy. It's a high converting page, a landing page with buttons and features that help you sell. That's what you really should be doing if you're going to make a landing page whatsoever. It's off Facebook or Google or whatever. Salespeople need somewhere to land and to be able to converse. And that's what he does, or that's how he starts. It's one of the things he does. But my point is the timeline gets shrunk. And so let's say the market is heading in a place because of AI, because of these tools, and also sweat equity. People with no money are coming up, or some money. They're going to need people like us to get them to that first layer. And I'm going to need someone like you to take it to the next layer. And I don't think it's changing what you do. I think it's more changing how you're doing what you do.
Yeah.
And I
like
think
enhancing the oral process and putting it on acceleration.
It's like today you use CRM A, and then CRM B comes out and you get really tempted, but you know the pain of transitioning from CRM A to B is death. But if it's effortless, it's hard to resist. And that's the experience I felt, because only someone that spends time, effort, energy, resources, money will see, wow, this is virtually frictionless compared to what I just experienced the last 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting.
Yeah, no, people should definitely get exposed to that skill set. because taking an idea and within a couple hours or even a couple minutes, be able to have a visual and start playing with it. Sometimes people are, there's a fear of trying to learn something new,
Sure.
but it's really not that hard. You can, put websites that you use in the description for people to try out. But, and I also think it makes you a much smarter shopper too. Because even if you're going to end up hiring someone in that space, you as a business, again, people sometimes downplaying the importance of a website, but it's what people see all the time. That's what's available for them beyond
Agreed.
even seeing your face or getting you on a phone. It's such an important thing.
I want to tell everybody this. It's really important that you guys know this. If you guys are starting out or you're on your way or you're really established, whether you make 100 grand a year, 500,000 or millions of dollars, you are eventually going to get plateaued and stuck. And the stuck is going to be stuck on great ideas. You're going to be stuck on systems and operations. You're going to be stuck, which I think is the most important one, talent, recruiting, training, hiring, managing great talent. And then, of course, we all just need more money, right? The guy that's wealthy, he's out for the next wealth. He wants the next buck. The guy that's on the up and swinging, he needs more money for marketing. He needs more money for the next hire. He needs more money for better systems. He needs more money to hire an Oran to sit with him to give him better ideas. So capital is very important. But I will tell you, if you have an idea today, we live in the greatest time ever in the history of mankind that you can literally go to effing ChatGPT or your Grok or Meta or whatever it is, type in that idea, have a conversation with AI, and then come to someone like me. And I will literally bring your idea to life, especially if you're in the real estate auxiliary business. That's what I'm really great at. And then I'm going to take your idea to, let's say, level 5 from level 1. And then I'm going to come straight to Oran. I'm going to say, Oran, meet Mr. John Smith, this brilliant mind, make his idea Kabul, make it even better. And what I really want you to do, and I think this is the kind of the takeaway from this, and I have one last question I'm going to wrap up, is I want you to start vibe coding. I want your team to start vibe coding, and not for vibe coding for the sake of replacing what they're doing. I want your onboarding, your moment, your aha to get them in the door, to be able to see or visualize that conversation, that strategy session you just had with them, this experience, and show them something in 24 hours. That's what I want you to do. And then I want them to be wowed, because what I say to one of these LLMs is not what you say to that LLM, because your level of expertise far passes my level and all these other people out there. It's the coders, they're not marketers. The marketers, they're not coders. Salespeople are neither. And so because of this, you're able to really capitalize. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Amazing. I want to ask you one personal question, and then I want to wrap up, and we'll do this again. If you could go back in time, dude, and talk to your younger self, okay, your young dude, he's married, by the way, ladies, but if you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self? What advice would you give about life? What would you say? Why would you say it? I'd love to hear your 2 cents on that. Based on your life experiences, based on what you now know, that had you known, maybe life would have turned out a little different.
What comes to my mind is don't sweat on the big things, because it's the small things over a period of time that really matters. And sometimes we have these moments of failure or success, and we're paying too much attention to them. And I would say, and it could be in anything. It could be a collapse in a relationship. It could be that you didn't close a client that you thought that you worked very hard on. It could be a fight with your significant other. It could be a deal that fell through. Those things don't matter, because if you get up every morning and you are consistently doing the things that your heart is leading you with every day, and you know that you're giving your 100% best, and you know that you're staying true to your values, then when you do things at the top line, then the bottom line will take care of it or itself. And
Well said.
And that's not mine. That's something that I heard from Steve
Sure.
Jobs, from one of the things, but it's so true. And when I say, I'm not saying like, oh, don't be upset or don't be sad about it. That's natural. Allow your emotion to flow through and experience all of them, because it's also part of the beautiful part of humanity. But don't stress about it. Don't lose hair for it,
Absolutely.
because that's really painful. and it can destroy people. So
That's great
yeah,
advice.
that's what I
Oran Aviv, thank you so much,
Thank
brother.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having me.
coming today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys got some value from this brilliant mind, and we would love to see you here again. Maybe we'll come to your podcast next time.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, take care.
All right.